podcast. It's Thursday and it's time to discuss WWE Bad Blood 2024. I'm Jez, joined by Dan. How the devil are you on this windy-ish, but not as windy as it is in some parts of the world Thursday evening?
No, I'm good. It's not as windy as, I don't know if you saw this, as the BBC weather app said. The BBC weather app was saying it was like 1,500 miles per hour wind, apparently.
Oh, was it
in
that
England.
bad they were saying?
Yeah, it was that bad, apparently. Which I was like, Christ, I better get underneath the ground or something then.
Yeah. There is really no battling 1,500 mile an hour winds.
No, exactly. So
yeah, I don't even think they've had it that bad in Florida, where they have had it really bad.
I think they're having 165 miles per hour, I think.
Yeah, which is a lot. Don't get us
wrong. It is a lot,
but it's not 1,500 miles an hour. That's pretty much wipe everything off the face of the earth kind of speeds, that is. But thoughts with the people in
absolutely
southern United States that are having a hard time with the weather at the moment, and several venues that WWE have frequented have been trashed, including apparently the Thunderdome site. So better not be another pandemic, because I don't think they're going to go there again.
No, exactly.
Unfortunately, but fingers crossed, everyone will come out of that okay, and things can get back to normal for them. We will continue to do our normal and kick off this show as usual with the fact that this show is sponsored by Go Energy Drinks. And I'm going to enjoy this funky goat as I have been doing for the last few weeks. And I've no real need to dip into any of their other flavors right now, because this one is still doing it for me. But you can, if you like. All of their flavors are available, including the original mango, the new mango, this cherry, or the caffeine-free watermelon. Just go to goatdrinks.co.uk, enter the code JEZ10 at checkout down in the corner there, and you can get 10% off your order and free shipping. Shipping cans is expensive, yo. They're quite heavy. Good evening, Mr. Reese Morgan. How the devil are you? You got yourself a bit of goat? I know that you've tried some.
There you go.
Including this cherry one. We still need to have a cocktail night using Goat Energy Drinks.
We do.
I think this with various alcohol spirits will be beautiful.
You'd love it.
I definitely would. Yeah.
As he downs it.
Anyway, yes. Today we are talking about WWE Bad Blood 2024. All the bad blood and not much else, because it's been a while since we've just devoted an episode to an entire premium live event. So we'll just crack through the cards.
Join in.
Give you all the results and all of the discussion on that. See what we think of it. See what you think of it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it when we had it for the F1. Yes. Yeah. We the other podcast that I used to do was also sponsored by Goat, so we would try it out on there too. And I've actually went to the Formula One exhibition today as a little
did you?
Little throwback to the effing racing show. Yeah, very good.
Cool.
Very good. They didn't have any Go Energy drinks there, but did get to take a photograph with like winning champagne, which was kind of fun. So
that's cool.
So there was that. Maybe Go Energy drinks should do a Go Energy champagne, and hold up a magnum of that when I win.
There you go.
The Main Event Podcast World Prediction Championship, which segues us quite nicely into the score. Coming into Bad Blood, I am winning on 47, and you are trailing on 43. Now then, let's run through these in the order in which they came, starting with the Hell in a Cell match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, a match in which CM Punk was victorious, seemingly ending that rivalry and coming out 2-1 in the trilogy.
Yeah.
Lots of people are touting this as the greatest wrestling match of all time and the best thing since sliced bread. It's got a very high rating on Cage Match, and I think it's the highest rated match from Dave Meltzer that they've had in the past 5 years or so. So
yeah, but Dave Meltzer can do one.
He's a Meltzer.
Yeah.
What did you think of this match, more importantly? Forget the Dave Meltzer rating out of 5. What would you give this out of 5?
Don't get me wrong. I did thoroughly enjoy it. I thought it was good. You know I like my more extreme matches. These guys did go for it. A lot of blood, considering how many staples Drew McIntyre had to have in his head afterwards.
Yes. Legit blood gushing from that guy's head.
Yeah, I think he had to have 12 staples or something put in it.
12 or 14 potentially. But
something like that. It was in the teens.
For sure.
Yeah. But very good match. Is it the best wrestling match I've ever seen? No.
And it drew a lot of comparisons, obviously, to the unsanctioned match between Swerve and... Was it Swerve and Hangman Page? Yeah. Swerve and Hangman Page a few weeks ago. It was never going to reach the same level of extreme that match did, because they really pushed the envelope. And in some people's opinion, they pushed it a little too far. I enjoyed the match also, but I don't think it was quite as good as people are making out.
No.
And the reason for that, and it might just be a personal thing, but when you have a match like a Hell in a Cell match, I expect there to be some kind of reason or some kind of involvement from the Hell in a Cell itself. And what I mean by that is, could this match have taken place under any other match type than Hell in a Cell and still pretty much be exactly the same? And the answer is yes. The cell itself didn't really add anything to the match, save for one moment when CM Punk was torpedoed into the side of it.
Yeah.
I don't think there was very much else to do with the actual cell.
No.
There was nobody involved in the rivalry that might have, tried to get in there. They didn't have to be, locked away for any reason. And I'm not saying that I want every Hell in a Cell match to be, King of the Ring 98 and have somebody being thrown off the top. But, going up to the top and having a bit of a fight on the top, or, trying to get out of the cage in some way, climbing up the cage and jumping off the side of the cage, actually using the Hell in a Cell stipulation at some point in the match is kind of the bare minimum that I expect of a Hell in a Cell match. And they didn't do that, and so it was never going to be truly high in my kind of rating system for it. Was it a good hardcore match? No holds barred match? Yes, very good. Yeah. And especially using things like a toolbox, and I know that the split open on McIntyre's head wasn't planned. Certainly wasn't planned to be a hard way 14 stitches kind of deal. It might have been planned to be a usual kind of wrestling blade job, but it certainly helped make that match more extreme. The fact that he had a crimson mask, as they like to say in the wrestling business. But is it the 9.78 or whatever it is out of 10 that it's currently got on Cage Match? I don't think so. And I think the main reason it's getting so much hype is it's so completely different to what we have been experiencing from WWE for the longest time. That's certainly the most brutal match that has been in WWE since dating back to the mid 2000s, when they really did away with all that kind of stuff. Chris Benoit. That's when they really toned that down and went PG. So I think it's more a return to form in terms of no holds barred. So good. Let's see more of it from more intense rivalries. But the last thing I'll say about it is, it's like I said to you last week when we were previewing it. Was it going to be more passionate And could the hatred be pushed any further than it was in the second meeting? And I don't think it was.
No.
Quite honestly, maybe on par if I was being generous, but I feel like the rivalry really hit its peak for that second match.
Yeah.
And this one was just, we've got to finish it because we're 1-1 rather than we still really hate each other. So, good start to the pay-per-view though.
Yeah.
We did question which match would kick off and which match would be the main event. And I think it's a nice way to get the crowd up and at it for the rest of the show. Predictions. I went for Drew McIntyre. You went for CM Punk. So you will pick up the first point of this premium live event.
I'll be the one.
It's kind of weird. I don't know where Drew McIntyre goes from here. He wasn't on Raw.
Somewhere.
He
probably wasn't on Raw because of his head.
I mean, there is that. He can hold a microphone with stitches in his head, though. He didn't have to have a match, but yeah. And CM Punk is not going to be around for a few weeks because he doesn't want to do the Saudi show, which, kudos.
Fair enough to him.
Fair play. I don't want to do it either, but,
No.
Here we are.
Mm.
Next up, then, the WWE Women's Championship. Nia Jax versus Bayley. Nia Jax coming out victorious from this one. What did you think of this one, first of all?
Fine.
I think fine is really the bare minimum of what this match was, if we're being brutally honest about it. This was the weakest match on the card for me.
Yeah.
And I've got very little to say about it other than it went exactly as we discussed when previewing it last week.
Yeah.
The Tiffany Stratton bit was kind of fun, but again, it's being dragged out more than it needs to be, and I'm bored. Yeah. It's quite funny. My wife, who regrettably doesn't listen to our show, while watching the match, basically parroted everything I said last week. And like, this is a bit boring. Can they just get on with the cash in or not do the cash in? And I'm like, you're preaching to the choir. This is exactly almost word for word what I said to Dan last week on the podcast. So we're not on our own in thinking that this has been drawn out beyond any interest. So there you go. We'll just go straight into predictions then, shall we?
Yeah.
We both went for the inevitable Nia Jax, and I don't mean to call her the inevitable as a nickname or a compliment. It was just inevitable that she would be given the win in this. So I will move to 1, and you will move to 2.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Her nickname is the Danger Zone.
I will say she has improved in the ring a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
She needs to do more if she's going to hold a championship.
That's true. Yeah. She said in an interview on the run up to Bad Blood that being fired in 2021 was the best thing to ever happen to her. I'm like, yeah, us too, love.
It was great for us as well.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it again, shall we?
Let's rerun the fun, as they used to say on Fun House. Next match, Damian Priest versus Finn Balor.
What did you think?
I thought it was a good match. I don't think it was befitting being the end of the rivalry, which clearly it is being touted as being. Damian Priest basically cut a promo on Raw saying, that's done, I'm moving on, and I'm not even going to team with Rhea Ripley anymore because I'm just done with all of that. I'm moving on. I'm like, right. So Finn Balor just jobs to you then, is it? That's where we go here. The Judgment Day immediately becomes a massive joke, and no prospects of anything good for Finn Balor at any point in the future.
No.
So I'm disappointed from that point of view. I probably shouldn't hold that against the match itself, but I'm gonna. to be honest with you. What did you think of the match?
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah. It was all right.
Yeah, it didn't fully impress from your point of view then.
No, I mean, I'm coming off from the last match, the Jackson Bailey match. It's a big difference, big difference. It was much better. It was kind of like, oh yeah, I can get behind this. And then looking back on it, it's actually like, yeah, it's not too bad.
I liked how hard hitting they were. If ever they were going to get into a New Japan style, strong style match,
yeah,
this was the closest we were getting on the night. So I appreciated that. But Finn Balor, man, that's all I could take from it. That's really all I could take from it. And poor me as well, because I thought, I said it last week, that they were going to have shenanigans, have Finn walk away with a dirty win that he did not deserve, so that they could do it again in a more hardcore style.
Yeah.
But screw me, I guess.
Yeah,
that's
screw
the end
you.
of that. So no point for me. You did go for Damian Priest, so you will pick up a point. I will go to 3. You will go to 3. I will stay on 1.
Pick up a point.
Next, unpredicted, obviously, because
this thing.
This just happened. But in the next segment of the show, Triple H came out to announce the Crown Jewel Championship, which is basically their answer to the King of Pro Wrestling Championship in New Japan, or the Continental Crown in AEW.
Yeah.
This is not a belt that will be defended. It's a one-off every year. World Champion versus WWE Champion to become the Crown Jewel Champion. And the belt probably won't even make it to TV.
What do you think of the belt?
I think it looks weird. The funny thing about it is, it looks like the AEW Continental Championship or the Women's Championship. It looks that shape, just bigger, and like somebody has got a shotgun, filled it with diamonds, and gone and just covered the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad looking belt, but do we need another belt that sits above the World Championships? It's weird.
Clearly we do.
It's just a bizarre idea, and I'm not here for it at all.
Yeah, I've kind of warmed to the design of the belt a bit. It's kind of like, it's not bad. They're not diamonds. No one's going to put that amount of diamonds on a belt this day and age. They're probably cubic zirconias saying they're diamonds. Because they're cheaper and they basically look exactly the same.
Well, to be fair to them, they didn't say that the whole belt was diamonds. They said that they had used whatever the number was, carats.
50 carats.
Yeah. I mean, 50 carats of diamonds could just be that much diamond, right?
Yeah.
So it could be that one in the middle is 50 carats and the rest is zirconias. And then it's true. Still.
I need to Google this. How much is a carat in a diamond?
Well, you talk about women and their diamond rings. Most of them walk around with at least 20 carats on, if they've got a big diamond. The ones the trophy wives, the Real Housewives of Atlanta and all that nonsense. They're walking around with serious carat on their finger. So I think that is the rub. One of there's a few on there that are diamond, and that's the carat value, and the rest are zirconia, just to make it look shiny.
Okay, so here we go. So a carat equals 0.2 grams.
Right.
So 0.2 times 50 is 10 grams.
Okay, so 10 grams of diamonds is probably a line of diamonds somewhere on it, isn't it, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were quite big rocks on the belt.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm spot on in that some of them
Yeah,
are
I think you're
diamonds,
spot on.
and then the rest is zirconia, and then they get to
Yeah.
say there's 50 carats
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
diamonds on it. I'm like, right, cool. That's like saying the whole thing is gold plated. It's just a thin layer of gold over the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's a gold belt.
Yeah.
Okay, sure thing, bro.
I
Whatever
want to
helps you
know.
sleep at night,
Yeah.
Mr. Crown Prince and your ultimate championship.
I want to know how long before WWE make a replica of it.
And how much they charge for it.
Yeah.
And whether it has got any actual diamonds on it.
Yeah.
They can't put actual diamonds on it and sell it on
No.
WWE.com.
No.
That'd be weird.
I think the most they would do is put cubic zirconias in it.
Which is what they do now, you know.
Well,
They've
no,
always
they don't do
claimed
it
the
for the
championship
replicas.
belts have diamonds in them, but it's
No.
always been zirconia.
Well, the replicas don't.
What, they don't even have the zirconia in them? What do they have?
They're
Plastic.
plastic gems.
Oh, for God's sake. And they still charge like, what is it, $450 for the main ones. And suckers like you pay for it.
Yeah.
Just
I'm just
hang there.
I'm just curious if they will make a replica of it and how much they will actually charge for it.
I think I hope they make like a toy version of it.
Yeah.
And if they make a toy version of it, I'm gonna get one and like we can use it like a hardcore championship if someone and just smash it and like stick some tape on it and things and we'll call it the Crown Jewels Championship and it's
Crown Jewels.
Then we'll put the testicles on it from the US title and it'll be the Crown Jewels Championship and it'll just be a celebration of all things testicle.
There you go.
It'll still be more prestigious than the actual championship belt that they have there.
Yeah.
Anyway, digressed slightly. Also in this segment, we had Gunther come out and chat some stuff, and then he was confronted by Goldberg, who, as it turns out, was not Gunther's favorite wrestler. Do you want to see Gunther versus Goldberg as Goldberg's final match?
No.
No, nor me.
I don't want to see Goldberg anyway.
The thing is, if they were going to do it, the time to do it would have been at Crown Jewel. When
but they
it doesn't
can't
really matter. But they can't now because, you know, Gunther's in this stupid championship match. And you know, I did think, well, maybe they're really trying to set us up and swerve us, and they're going to have Sami Zayn win the belt on Raw, and then that frees up Gunther to face Goldberg, but that didn't happen either. So it really was just setting up something that's probably never going to happen.
Yeah.
Just making us salivate, or, you know, saliva comes to your mouth when you're about to vomit, so it's still salivating.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it.
No.
I did. See it. I did enjoy seeing Goldberg back in WWE for the time that he was. You know, I even liked his championship run to some extent, but I don't need to see it anymore.
No.
The time has passed.
Yeah.
Definitely passed, and that would definitely be lowering Gunther.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And so we move on to the next match. Quite a fun one as far as I'm concerned. I quite enjoyed this one. Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley versus the champion Liv Morgan, with Dirty Dominic Mysterio suspended above the ringside area, not above the ring.
No.
In a shark cage.
It
was slightly disappointing that he couldn't be hanging above the ring because obviously the Hell in a Cell was up there and they can't keep putting things up there. But I still enjoyed him being in the cage and the falling out and hanging there by his foot.
Good.
That was very well executed. They've obviously practiced and planned that meticulously, and that worked beautifully. It looked great. You know, the treating Dominic like a pinata thing. I'm sure there'll be a pinata with Dominic's face on it on WWE Shop at some point in the
Well,
future.
they got the toilet roll.
Yeah, toilet rolls, pinatas, pretty much anything you need for Halloween will be there with Dom's face on by October 31st. So, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the match for the most part. Obviously, at the end, we had the return.
Oh God!
What did you think of it?
So, I was enjoying the match until Raquel came back and there's no other way of saying it, but effed it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been confirmed by people from inside WWE that was a botch.
Yep.
That she came in too early, just went in front of the ref and caused a disqualification, and then she didn't realise that had happened, and then put Rhea back in the ring and then dragged Liv on top of them. It's like, no, the bell's already rung and the music's already playing. Just pay attention, woman. And, and apparently that's what was supposed to happen is Raquel comes in behind the ref's back while the ref is dealing with Dom hanging upside down, lay out Rhea Ripley, drag Liv on top, ref turns back around. Oh, quick, I need to pin. Do the pin. 1, 2, 3, Liv wins.
Yeah.
But Raquel, Jesus Christ.
And the worst thing about it from your point of view is it cost you a point. Because by disqualification, my prediction of Rhea Ripley is correct, and therefore I get the point for it, even though it's thoroughly not deserved. And I know it's not deserved, but I'm still taking it because that's the way it is.
You can take it. I'm not blaming you at all. I'm blaming Raquel.
Yeah, it's Raquel's fault entirely. I did really enjoy the way that the referee reacted.
Yeah.
And he looked like an NPC on a video game. It was like playing Grand Theft Auto and like when you like kill a prostitute on Grand Theft Auto and the bystanders are like, oh my God, I'm gonna go and stand against this building so I don't witness what's going on. Because he was just like, and then he was like, oh, she did that in front of me. I didn't see it. I'm just gonna look over here. Nothing happened. And like, oh no, I did see it. Okay.
Do you think at that point Triple H was in his ear just like, you're gonna have to call for the belt because Raquel messed that up.
Yeah. I definitely think that somebody was in his ear saying, call the DQ. We've got no choice.
Yeah.
And to be fair, we don't get many like DQ finishes on pay-per-view and premium live events anymore, so fine, whatever. It keeps Ripley with the win, which is good for her future championship prospects, but I just wanted to be done with this, man. I really wanted to be done with this. Now we're going to have months of Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez to eventually get back to Liv Morgan before Rhea Ripley finally gets that win.
Yeah.
And I just wanted her to get the win and leave them behind. I honestly did. I like the idea of Raquel in the Judgment Day as like the enforcer backing up Liv Morgan, but could have done it without the title.
Yeah.
And then they could have gone for the tag titles again. Just so many wasted opportunities. Most of which is your idea last week of the Terror Twins going for the tag team titles. That was inspired, and I can't believe that they're not going to do that.
It would have been amazing, wouldn't it?
It would have been. It really would have been. So with the botch in mind, that means that I finally pick up another point and move to 2, and you will stay on 3. Tiddly dee.
I feel like I should send a very strongly worded tweet.
You should send a strongly worded tweet to Raquel. Like, you can add a clip from the show and be like, you cost me a point, Raquel. You owe me 1 prediction championship point. And I don't know how she sent that to you, but I'm sure she will. I'm sure she'll make it right in some way.
Yeah. I'm going to do that now.
Do it. strongly worded tweet. Yeah. And finally,
straight after the show, I'm going to do
it. Talk is cheap, Dan. You know. Tweet or it didn't happen. Main event. Tag team match. The Bloodline team of Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu taking on the unlikely duo of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. I enjoyed this a lot more than I was expecting to.
Yeah.
And I can't even pinpoint what I really liked about it. Like, there's nothing really specific I liked about it. I liked the energy. Yeah. I liked how it was big crowd moment for both Reigns and Rhodes and giving Solo Sikoa the usual hard time. I feel like we were slightly let down by interactions between Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. They weren't quite as impactful as they really could have been and were teased a few weeks ago. But that's a small complaint, really.
Yeah.
The right people won.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't
I
make
like
sense
that Roman Reigns made the pin.
Yeah, you know, he's been gone for a while. He's back. It's his family, you know.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes is really just a bystander in all of this. So, yeah, it did make sense for Reigns to get that pin. And I think the bigger talking point is what happened immediately following the match, right? The final boss.
Yeah, he's back
in
again.
The house once again.
Back again.
And something they didn't make as big a deal of on television, but they did on social media afterwards, was Solo Sikoa telling the rest of the Bloodline, don't worry, it's all part of the plan.
Yeah. So I reckon it's going to be The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Possibly. Or they could resolve it beforehand so that you get The Rock versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
There are plenty of options for WrestleMania. It just, how long do you want to drag this story out? When will The Rock have other commitments? I assume he'll be about for WrestleMania. That just kind of makes sense, doesn't it? But do you want to put the championship belt on The Rock sooner than that and have him carry it into WrestleMania against Roman Reigns or against Cody?
I don't think it will have any championships stipulation.
Right.
I think it will be more who's in charge of the family. That sort of thing.
So with that in mind, what we will have to see soon is Solo Sikoa anointing The Rock as the tribal chief. If it's all part of the plan, then Solo was only ever an interim chief until The Rock came back.
Well, do you remember when the WrestleMania press conference thing, and they brought up the tree, the family tree?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you remember what The Rock said his title is?
Was it? Oh, no, I don't remember what the specific wording was.
Well, he said he is the High Chief.
Was High Chief. I should have just gone with it. Okay.
Yeah, it's the High Chief. So I wonder if he goes, you're the tribal chief, but I'm the High Chief.
Which is kind of like more of an elder role, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
Even when Roman Reigns was the tribal chief, he acknowledged the elders, and before making any, you know, big decisions, he said he would consult the elders. So, yeah, that's one way of playing this, I guess, if he is the high chief.
And could Solo Sikoa know this, that The Rock is, as you said, an elder almost? He's the high chief, so he does consult with elders to what to do, and that is The Rock.
Because, and this is really unfortunate, the elders that Roman Reigns would have consulted with during his reign have both passed away now in Afa and Sika, the ones who were there to anoint him with the Ulafala when he came back in 2021. So, yeah, that's an interesting way of thinking about it, but maybe it is, you know, not for the tribal chief moniker, but for high chief. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows? I think what I want to see from it is this lead into War Games.
Yeah.
I want to see The Rock in War Games. I feel like that's
Can
a
you
notch
imagine?
that The Rock needs on his resume is War Games.
Yeah, so you'd have The Rock, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga and Tongalo. Would we have a 5-man?
I think that's the 5-person team.
5-man, yeah. And then we could have Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, obviously, returned. Possibly Jay.
So they could bring in Jey Uso, and if they bring in Jey Uso, they probably bring in Sami Zayn as well.
But then there's also Hikuleo.
Hikuleo is rumored to be going to NXT and not to be having anything to do with this. Could be a swerve.
True, it could be a swerve.
There's Zilla Fatu.
Yeah.
Knocking about out there. Apparently, though, he is signed with AEW, so who knows? He apparently has had ideas above his station and was trying to hold MLW up for more money and more things. And it's like, bro, you've had like 6 matches. Chill out.
Yeah.
Like, I know that you are a Fatu and generally part of the Anoa'i family, but you've still got to earn your stripes. There have been a few in that family who have just crashed and burned, and you don't want to be one of them because you think that you're the tribal chief after 7 matches. Chill it out a little bit.
Chill out, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you don't want to involve actual, Anoa'i members, it could be Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
So that would not be a bloodline team. It would be an anti-bloodline team, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, you could do that.
Yeah.
I would like to see Hikuleo be on the Roman Reigns team, because then you have another disjointed family then.
Yeah.
You've got more brothers against brothers.
Yeah.
So that would work, but I think he would do a lot better having his own career in NXT and working through that way. Yeah. Quick aside, NXT was pretty good in the first 2 weeks on the CW. This week was particularly good with Stephanie Vaquer as well, and promos for Delta coming up. So that women's division is going to be fire.
Going to be stacked.
Looking forward to that, and we'll get to NXT in the coming weeks when they have Halloween Havoc. That's the next premium live event that WWE are putting out.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that. Any final thoughts on the tag team match and the return of The Rock and Jimmy Uso? We haven't really talked much about Jimmy Uso coming back, but
I was quite pleased to see Jimmy Uso back, actually.
Yeah. I think they left it long enough that we were like, well, he's never coming back, and so when he did come back, it was a nice surprise. So kudos. I like the T-shirt, the "They Not the Ones" shirt. Yeah, it's a good.
Yeah,
it's much better than "No Yeet."
Yeah.
Much better than that. And probably inevitably, to finish the predictions for Bad Blood, we both went for Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Each picking
what a surprise!
That ends the show on 3 for me and 4 for you, which means the predictions to date are 50 to me and 47 to you. Slowly clawing it back. Yeah, one by one, little by little.
Yeah.
You are coming back. And I don't like it, but
3 more points and I'm tying with you. 3 more.
Which is the worst outcome, really. You beating me isn't the worst outcome. Tying with me is the worst outcome. I hate that.
Tying is the worst outcome for everyone.
Just to finish things off, there was something that happened after the event that they publicized on social media. Kevin Owens attacked Cody Rhodes in the parking lot. They have thus far refused to discuss it on television. Where do we think that's going, other than Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens again?
I think it's kind of been brewing for a bit.
It has.
And it's yeah.
The thing about it is, it could mean that Cody Rhodes isn't part of that War Games team, because it's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes is busy at Crown Jewel, so it's got to be Survivor Series if they do it.
Yeah.
Or just on SmackDown, I guess, but that's interesting. It's a way of Cody not beating Gunther, possibly.
Yeah.
He's costed by Kevin Owens. Yeah. It's interesting, but I'm not sure I care.
No, I don't really care, to be honest.
Kevin Owens is kind of the modern Big Show of heel and face turns. He just keeps going back and forth so much that it's lost all of its impact.
Yeah.
So I much prefer Kevin Owens as a heel, though, so let's just stick with that for now.
Yeah.
Quick loss to Cody Rhodes on a SmackDown. Let's do it next week, get it out of the way, and then...
get it out of the way, job done.
And then he can just be a heel. Yeah. Maybe he can be a mentor to A-Town Down Under when he turns heel. That would be funny. That would be an entertaining...
Jesus.
Yeah. And there we go. That is our show. All bad blood all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Not mad love, as the opposite goes in the Taylor Swift song. Next week, though, we'll hopefully...
Bad blood.
No, don't you start. Hopefully we'll have mad love for AEW Wrestle Dream, as that takes place this weekend. We'll have predictions coming out for that, and it'll be 10 years long, so we'll probably miss out a few matches and breeze through some of the boring bits on it, but we certainly will discuss it. That is what we will do next week.
We will discuss something.
Some things will be talked about.
Yes.
Right here on this show.
Right here, right now.
Same JazzX Everything station, same JazzX Everything time, same Go Energy drink in my face. That about cover it?
Sounds about right.
Until next week, I've been Jez.
I've been Dan.
And this has been the Main Event Podcast.
Bye.